Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hey, I just want to take a quick second, like everybody else has, and honor Bren, because day one is in the books, and it exceeded my expectations, and I'm sure it exceeded most of your expectations. So, Bren, thank you for the excellence in putting GutterCon on. You've done an awesome job, man. All right, so today I'm going to talk about something that we all struggle with, company culture, right? And having employees. So before I get into that, though, I want to tell you guys a little bit about myself, who I am, where I've come from. So 7 years ago, I was a supplier, right? I was supplying gutter, windows, roofing, all that good stuff, siding. And like all of you have said in our conversations, man, I just answer the phone and show up, and my competition just gives it to me because they don't do that, right? So I saw that, and I was like, shoot, if I answer the phone and show up, I'm going to double my income. And that's exactly what I did, and just continued to grow it. Let's rock and roll through this thing. So this is me. I'm a certified Conquer coach with Automate Grow Sell, just like our boy John Majak, sorry. And would love to talk to you guys about that opportunity. It's helped me scale. I've been in Conquer for 3 years, and then I just started coaching this year. So been really, really good for me and helped me scale my company. And my company is Superior Exteriors. This QR code is just a mailing list that I'm building, and I'm going to tell you all right now where I am putting together a sales video series from when you answer the phone, so how your reception's script and all that good stuff, to the close of the sale. Everything from the script to scheduling to calling before you go to the estimate, where you park your car, the pitch, everything. It's all going to be there, and I'm going to give it to everybody at GutterCon free of charge. So be sure to get on that mailing list. Yeah, thank you. And I'm not doing that. I actually hired someone and paid them a bunch of money to make these videos, so it's going to be good quality. But I also run the gutter installers page. Okay, I started that a few years ago. This is like a new thing that everybody's doing, seen in the wild. And I saw this yesterday driving on lunch, and I thought it was really cool that there was like an 85-foot downspout to run gutter or run water. So, and literally conduit running around the downspout, because usually we get screwed and have to run our downspouts around that stuff. So that was really cool. This is my family. I got my beautiful bride there, Megan, my 6-year-old son, Axel, and she just turned 4 yesterday, daughter, Naya Jo. We are a dirt bike family. We love riding dirt bikes, doing all that cool stuff. We homeschool our children. We believe that in the public schools, I actually went to school to be an educator and realized that you are severely handcuffed and you cannot say half the things that these kids need to hear. So we homeschool our children, and we believe, I told Scott here the other day, we believe there's a lot of dragons in this world, and we are building some dragon slayers. So we're going to keep making more dragon slayers. I want to show you guys. Yeah, thanks, Brad. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. I thought I'd get a little more out of you guys for that one. But just want to show you guys this is my son a year ago, so he was 5. He was trying to beat his record of 48 feet on this KTM 50. He did not come close on this one, and you'll see why. So. Oh! Yeah, he ate it. He ate it pretty good. And the first thing, so I go running up there, and I'm like, hey, dude, you now know what it's like to fall off of a ladder or a roof. Are you ready to hang some gutter? So, yeah, no, I didn't say that, but he definitely asked that question later that night. He's like, hey, Dad, do you think like I got hurt as bad as if I fell off of a roof hanging gutter? So, yeah, bud. Yeah, you could do it. So, yes, I want to give you guys some resources, okay? I'm here to give. So this is the Gutter Installers Facebook page. I've introduced a few of you guys to it. I thought it was incredible how many people are here that like literally just Google search gutter convention, right? This is a page. This is the page that I started a few years back. There's almost 7,000 people in it right now. It's a lot of crap talking, right? If you don't hand cut miters, you're not a real gutter guy and all this good stuff. I do box miters. I don't care. So, but yes, Gutter Installers Facebook page. It's a great resource. This one, my boy Christian Deasy, I think is how you say his last name. He did not come He wimped out. Shout out to you, Christian. You should be here. But he's got this great gutter company owners page. A lot of really, really good content comes from there. Scott is extremely active in that page and has an awesome business himself. So get on that one as well. And then John Majak has the gutter sales and marketing tips, right? He's Mr. Pipeline. So another great page for you all to be on and getting a bunch of great tips in everything gutter. So I think I'm the only actual gutter guy speaking here. Not that that makes me any better than anybody, but yeah, thanks. What's that? Oh, all right, perfect. There we go. So I won't be the only gutter guy. So going into company culture, how to win employees by influencing their livelihood. All right, I got to stick to my notes here, otherwise I'm going to forget some stuff. All right, so in 2020, I realized, this was pre-COVID, okay? I realized my company culture was crap. In December of 2019, I had 2 technicians that were just like dragging us down so badly, like to the point where one of my admins comes to me and she's like, Colin, I can't be in the office around them. They're just so disgusting and vulgar and just negative all the time, right? So I fired them both, right? They thought they were getting their Christmas bonus when they came to my office, and I fired them instead. So they were pretty pissed about that, but you know, stuff happens. So, but we go into 2020, right? And I'm gearing up for a huge year. We hire an operations manager, right? A huge salary. Hire on another admin because we're gonna need it to answer all the phone calls. And then my awesome governor, Gretchen Whitmer, shuts us down. Bam. You guys are done. And so we were shut down for a little over a month. And I had these huge salaries, right? We finished that year. We still grew top line by about 250K, but our bottom line, we literally finished the year at 2% net, okay? But I had made that crucial hire in the operations manager because I was getting too close with all of our people and was not holding them accountable well, right? So I hired this guy. He's been a buddy of mine for 8 years and ex-Marine, okay? And infantry, raised to the highest class. I don't know it all, but highest class that you can be while still being in the war, right? And not be in a suit. And so I hired him to be the bad guy, right? Because I was like, I can't do it, right? And he's like, yeah, I got you, man. And then we swapped roles, right? He became the good guy, and I became, I guess, the systems guy, right? Nope, this doesn't fit our system. Sorry, here's your write-up, right? And that's how it worked, right? But we started building the culture. I had to push, I had a cousin working for me who was an extremely hard worker, but a cancer. I had to push him out of the company, right? It sucked, right? But we went through 2020, and we made pivotal hires that helped build this company culture, right? We got rid of people that didn't fit it. We knew that we needed to build, and that's where we needed to start. So like I said, I made 2% bottom line that year. But I could see the transformation in our office, right? It sucked. It sucked to not make any money. Now that's a real 2%, right? Like my salary was taken out of that, and it's not like I literally made $18,000 that year. But legit 2%. But we were poised for a huge 2021, and that's exactly what we did. So last year, we finished 2020 at 916K. We finished last year at 2.1 mil at 20% bottom line. So yeah, thank you. But none of that would have happened if I didn't make that investment in my people, okay? And I had guys, yeah, I'll get into all that. So that's where we started, right? We all suffer the employee blues. You know, if you haven't said one of these things, I'm calling you a liar right now, okay? Employees suck, millennials don't want to work, no one wants to work with all this government money thrown at them, thanks Uncle Joe. People suck, these guys can't hold a handle to how fast I am, blah, blah, blah. No one can sell as good as me, all of it. We've all said that crap, right? Nobody's raising their hand that they haven't said this, right? Okay, good, because I'll call you out. So let's talk about some stats, okay? This, yeah, we're gonna let you just listen to this. This is like something that just plays in my brain all the time. All right, so moral of that story there is that's Coach Carter, okay? And he's sitting in the library with his team from Richmond High and gives them some stats for their ass, right? Majority of them 1 out of 3, if they look to their left, look to their right, one of them is going to succeed. The other 2 are going to end up either dead or in prison. Okay, gave them all these stats, right, and says, I want you guys' lives to be changed, right? We are going to get through this, and we're going to push, right? You don't have. He calls out one of his guys. What's your dad do? My dad's in prison, sir. That doesn't need to be your future. Okay, so that's what that is. And I want to let you guys know that in 2020, the small business turnover rate was 57.3%. That's a boatload. That's more than half your guys are coming and going that year, right? In the construction trades, in 2017, it was 61%, dropped a little bit in 18, 19 and 20 continue to go up. They did not have 21s released yet. Federal government positions, 1.3% turnover rate. I don't want to get started on the control and that issue, but what is the difference, right? There's a lot of systems in place, right? And I'm sure Tommy's going to hit on a lot of systems later, but having the right systems in your business so it's easy to follow, right? They know their roadmap to success. They know what they need to be doing to make more money, and that is crucial. But also, all of this good stuff. 94% of employees say they would stay at their current job longer if the company invested in helping them learn skills beyond their direct duties. Okay, people want to learn. We live in a time where everything is at our fingertips, right? But people are always wanting to learn more. Okay, so if you stifle someone's growth and say you're always going to be a technician, right? That's all you can do, and you give them no roadmap to be better than a technician, they're going to leave, right? I had this happen, actually. All Gutter took one of my guys because I told him that, right? This was 2018. Said, you can't even remember your material for the jobs, dude. You're not going to be a tech. You can't even be a lead tech right now, right? 3 weeks later, he was gone, right? So it happens. I've been there. I've made these mistakes. I'm not just speaking from a Google search or anything like that. Company culture. What is company culture? Okay. You know what? I want to go back to this. Sorry. One of my good friends, but he was a mentor for me a few years back, and he was one of my coaches. His name is Pat Clark, and he runs Sales Boost. I know Megan was just there, Tommy was just there, John, but he runs Sales Boost. And when he was my first ever coach, okay, and I was doing, I think, $250K a year at that point. And we're on a call, and I'm like, dude, I'm struggling. I want to be at $1 million, blah, blah, blah. Like, my people. And he's like, Colin, like, you need to recognize one thing. The people who are with you now, they won't be with you at 700K. You're going to outgrow them. And those people at 700K won't be with you at $1 million. And those people at $1 million won't be with you at 2. And then you might be able to start maintaining some people after 2 million. And I was like, what? Nah, dude, you're wrong. Like, I know these guys. They got my back. Like, and he was literally spot on. That's exactly how it worked, right? I have 0 employees from when we hit our first $1 million. Right? Obviously zero employees from that day and everything forward. So it's the sooner you recognize that, the better it will be. Now that doesn't mean you have to go and fire these people. It just means you're going to outgrow them, right? Because they're not growing at the same rate that we are 9 times out of 10. Okay? I had one great employee that I thought was going to be with me forever. Okay? He just started a competing business, and I'm helping him, right? So he's doing roofing and seamless gutter in my town of 8,000 people, and I've helped him with that dream. I'm not giving him all the secrets, but I've helped him a lot with getting it rolling. And but I thought he was going to be with me because he was growing. I mean, he was coming to the BBB with me and Megan. I was investing in him, and I thought he could keep up, but he still worked his way out. So, company culture. Company culture is the shared values, attributes, and characteristics of an organization. Culture is a buzzword right now, right? Everybody's looking for the right culture, okay? Our Gen Z or X or whatever it is now, they are all looking for the right culture. Oh, I didn't want to work there, whatever. I have my wife's cousin who literally chose a job because they get to drink at 4 o'clock every day. That's what she wanted. And she's like, this is the coolest thing ever. This is the culture that I love. And this is my people. I was like, all right, cool, right? She doesn't have that job anymore. But But yes, like that's what these people are after, right? Obviously, that's a horrible culture to have, but yeah, there's a lot of, that's what they're after, is culture. They want that, and they think they know what's best. But so what is good culture? Okay, high energy. You need to have high energy. One of my coaches lives by the phrase, high energy equals high outcome. Okay, shout out to Bart Miller there. Encouragement over criticism. There's power in your words, okay? And this isn't just biblical, okay? This is worldly too, right? There's science experiments where they take 2 carrots and they tell one carrot it's ugly and it's never going to grow and it's a piece of crap, and they tell one it's the most beautiful carrot in the world, and the one dies in days and the other one stays for 2 weeks, okay? Like there's power in your words, and if you think that your words aren't affecting your people, you got to get hit in the head with something. Great leadership development. You got to have some sort of program in place where you're helping them become leaders, okay? If you're trying to keep people down, they're not going to last, right? You're going to have that revolving door, that 60%, 60% leaving rate. I'm drawing a blank now. Grace and love more than truth and yelling. Now, I'm not saying you can't have any truth, okay? Because there needs to be truth in everything, but you need to have grace and compassion and just love for your people more than you have the truth and the yelling and the belittling or whatever. Equality from you to the new guy, okay? This is something that a lot of small business owners do, okay? We call it the, I guess like the learning curve, okay? So you start your business and you're way down here, right? You don't know anything, and through year 1, you're like, okay, all right, I'm figuring this out. And in the end of year 1, you're like, boom, all right, holy cow, nobody can teach me anything. I know it all, okay? And you may not walk around like, hey, I know everything, but you have an answer for everything, okay? There's no humility in that. You think you know how to fix everything, right? And then year 2 comes, and you're on the floor, right? You're like, what in the world? All my people quit. What the heck is going on? I pay them the most, blah, blah, blah. I'll throw more money at them then, right? Or whatever it may be, okay? And so you dip down below where you were and then you start the real entrepreneur journey of the slow, gradual incline, okay? That's where it starts. That's where you're learning. That's where you're growing as an entrepreneur, okay? But there needs to be that equality, okay? You can't have this elitism as the boss or as the owner, okay? You are just as equal as the guy you're hiring at $17 an hour, okay? Or whatever your lowest paid position is, okay? You need to be equal with them, and you need to treat them equal to your salesperson who makes 6 figures, or your project manager, or your lead tech, or whatever, okay? They're all equal. They all play by the same rules. The second you start changing those rules, the second they start beating feet. So, and then they're when they need you the most, okay? This is pivotal. I landed here Tuesday. You know what, I'm skipping ahead, sorry. That story's for another time, later on. But I had a guy call me the other night, hey man, I just broke up with my girlfriend. And, oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. But you know what he said? He goes, it's because I'm growing and she's holding me back. And he's like, it's that lobster analogy you told me about. Y'all know the lobster analogy? You go to the store and all the lobsters are in the tank and there's that one that gets some balls. And he's like, I'm going to climb out, right? And all the other ones are pulling him down, okay? He's like, that's what was happening, right? Like they both overcame alcoholism, but he wasn't okay with just not being an alcoholic. He wants to be the best that he can be, and she was okay with not being an alcoholic, right? So he left her after 6 months of sobriety. Was like, I just can't do it anymore. So, but he was really struggling with it because they've been together 2 years. So he called me to talk, right? Being there for them and encouraging them. So, and addictions, kids, all that good stuff that falls underneath those needs. And then long-term vision for each person in the company. If you're not seeing their potential in pouring into that, so I got one guy, Steven, and Megan's met Steven. When Steven started, he was just going to be answering the phones for me, right? That was it, and helping clean the warehouse and stuff like that. And not instantly, there's a few things, I'll tell you more about that in a little bit, but I found, after about a month and a half, I discovered, holy cow, this dude can be my integrator. He can help me with everything, right? Like he can implement my crazy ideas. Tommy talks about implementers all the time, right? He's got his right-hand man that straightens them out and says, yeah, you can do this. Here's how we're going to do it, right? So you need those people, right? So I saw that, and the dude's made $6 more an hour in that time, and he's just going to keep going up, right? So, but I encourage him daily in that. What is bad culture? Bad culture is bad energy in the atmosphere, okay? You got the boss mentality. You walk in, your crap don't stink. There's a pecking order, okay? New guy hazing, hey, go get the gutter stretcher, right? Like, that's okay, but, you got to come clean on that one, right? But there's obviously new guy hazing that happens that doesn't make them feel well, right? Yelling, belittling, and then constant criticism with no love at all. You can't do that. They're not going to hear it, okay? Okay-ish culture, right? This is, where a lot of people live. There's no energy. It's like, hey guys, how's it going, right? No leadership, okay? You, as the entrepreneur, are not leading your people. You're doing your own thing, okay? You're focused on all that, and they're just your minions, okay? But obviously not good. You're not yelling, but you're also not encouraging a lot, right? You're not speaking into their life. And then non-existent growth opportunities. They don't understand where they can go in the company. They have no idea, and everybody wants to grow, right? So most people want to grow. At least the people you want working for you want to grow. And then no vision, okay? I think I skipped way too much. Okay, so back in good culture. I'm reading this book right now called The Culture Code by Daniel Coyle. Anybody heard of that book? I picked it up for coming out here, and I'm like 100 pages in because I can't put it down. But in 2013, the Spurs played the Heat in the NBA Finals. And Game 6 comes along, and the Spurs were up 3-2, right? They had to win this last game. 24 seconds left. They went on an 8-0 run, and they were up like 5-6 points, something like that. And long story short, they ended up losing that game, right? And they were so demoralized. Tony Parker's on the bench crying with a towel over his head. Tim Duncan's laying on the ground crying. Manu Ginobili's crying, all this stuff, right? These are stud players. And Greg Popovich, they had already planned like a really baller dinner, rented out the whole restaurant so they could have their families and all that stuff there to celebrate. The locker room was already decorated and plastic up everywhere and champagne bottles. Rather than letting his team wallow in their sorrows, Greg Popovich said, hey, get your families, we're going to dinner, right? And he left instantly, right? He didn't go in the locker room while the guys were showering and getting ready and whatnot. He left and he went and he created an environment in that restaurant, right? He got all the food ready and he sat there, and one of his assistant coaches rode with him to help prep, right? And the assistant coach was quoted saying, you could see it. He goes, I know this sounds really weird, but Pop sits down in a chair, sips a glass of wine, takes a deep breath, and you could just see it release out of him. The hurt of losing that game left. And at that time, the players started coming in, and he loved on every single one of them. Hugged them, celebrated with their families, right? They didn't talk about the game at all, and it completely changed their culture. That's what we need to do, okay? How many times we get hit below the waist in a normal week, right? And we just let it affect us, and it affects them, okay? We can't be doing that. That is an example of excellent culture, being a leader, okay? All right, that's where we're at now. Where do we start, okay? Core values. Who in here has core values for their company? All right, Chris, let's hear them. I'm sorry, Corey. Not Chris. Corey, thank you.
Oh, God, no, I remember them all. So, relationships first, growth-minded, driven. God, we just rewrote them like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. So
it's a bunch of shit. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, right. But that's my point, okay? Most of you probably didn't raise your hand, but you have core values in your handbook. You just don't know them, right? So thank you, Corey, for playing my game. But having those core values and having it be who your company is really important, okay? It needs to be like your motto, okay? There's countless companies out there, big, hundreds of millions of dollar companies, that you ask any one of their employees what their model is or what their core values are, and they know them, right? That's what they're trained and that's what they're taught, and that's how they funnel everything through that. So get your core values here. You know, what do you stand for? What do you do? And the why behind it all, okay? So figure that out for your company. That's step one, all right? Step two, if you haven't read these two books, I do it in that order: how to win friends and influence people, and then the dream manager. Okay, the dream manager will be really hard to implement if you don't know how to win your employees and influence them. So read those 2 books, and then make sure I'm not going. How much do you actually know about your people? I want to tell you guys a story here. I have an employee. I just told you guys about him going off to start his own roofing company. Okay, this kid came to me. He was 21 years old, and he had worked in the restaurant industry pretty much his whole life. He was a hockey player through college and whatnot, but waited tables. Okay, had 0 sales experience, and I was like, all right, I can do this. Right? He interviewed really well for a technician position, and I had my ops manager there. And halfway through the interview, he gets up. He goes, "Colin, you're taking him for sales. I'm out of here." Right? And the kid interviewed spectacular the rest of the time, offered him the position, and he even did something really good. He's like, "Okay, let me think about it." And I was like, "What?" And he was like desperate for a job, I found out later. But he was able to maintain his composure, and then the next day respond and say, "I'd love to work for you." This kid sucked at sales, okay? He was horrible, right? Get him rolling. And I hired him like 3 weeks before our governor shut us down. So he's like getting training. We're just about to release him, or not release him, like working towards releasing him. And then we get shut down for a month, right? So we come back, and I'm like, all right, let's start over, right? And so I'm running leads with him, right? And teaching him how to sell gutter, and just watching him butcher his estimates, right? And he did this thing where he'd start talking to the client. So he normally talks like this. And he gets in front of the client. He goes, "Okay, so we got 127 feet of gutter." And he's just like yelling at them, right? And I'm like, dude, like you're freaking them out, right? Yeah, it was just like a spaz thing that he was doing. And so I went to this. I was like, all right, dude, you got to follow me on these next. We had like 6 that day or something. You got to follow me on these next few. Maybe I'll let you try the last one. So we go through, and the last one, I can tell this lady was like big time corporate, right? And I find out later on, after selling her like $80,000 worth of work, she used to do this. She used to speak at business conventions, right? So we're quoting her siding and her gutter, and so I'm going through the whole siding proposal and all that, and I'm like, hey, he's new. I really want him to get some experience. Will you let him? I want him to pitch the gutter to you. And then I want your total brutal honesty on how he does, so he can hear it from a customer's mouth rather than mine. She's like, okay. So he does it. He does the same thing. Well, we got this much gutter. And I'm like, oh gosh, all right. So, but he messed it up. He goes, okay, so the total is $2,467 or $24,000 or $2,467 or whatever it was, right? And she's like, for what, right? And so he built 0 value, and she just lays into him, right? And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, yes, get him, right? We get in the car, and he goes, holy crap. Like, she literally was like, your boots are too clean, right? I'm not going to buy gutter from you because your boots are brand new. I can tell you don't even work, right? Like, just tearing him apart. And it was fantastic. So we get in the car, and he's like, damn, maybe I should have been listening to you, right? And I'm like, yeah, no kidding, dude. So the next day we go out, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do the first one, you do the second one. Totally different person, right? Like, it flipped in his brain, and he went on to make 6 figures that year, okay? So just absolutely crushed it. So that is, moral of the story, I got to know who he was and where this uncomfortableness was coming from, and dig into that a little bit. And then I just made him a little more uncomfortable so that his original uncomfort was fine, right? Just kept pushing him a little bit into more discomfort and making that happen. So, and he crushed it, right? And now he's out running his own business with his brother, and that's their dream. So I'm encouraging him in that. So, but what do you know about your people? Okay, do you know their 3, 5, 10-year goals? Okay, those are important. If your people don't have goals, they're not going to last in your company because you've got goals. All right. Do you know their significant others' names? Right. Their kids' names, their birthdays, all that stuff. If you send their spouse whatever $10 Starbucks card on their birthday, they'd be like, you're never quitting this job, right? You got an employee for life, right? What are their hobbies? Okay, you show up to watch them race dirt bikes, or show up to watch them whatever, right? Coach soccer or whatever they do, okay? Just support them in their stuff. What do they enjoy about their work, okay? Figure out what they really like doing for your company and let them do that. Quit trying to make them do stuff they don't want to do, right? Figure out what they don't like. Don't make them do that. Find someone else who likes doing that. I got one gal who's an admin and hates calling and asking people for money, okay? But she loves answering the phone, okay? I got another one who loves taking people's money, and she's a freaking bulldog about it, okay? So that's all you're going to do. You're just going to collect money all day long, okay? So you find people who like those things, and if I made them each do opposite things, I wouldn't have either of them, okay? And figure out their dream job, okay? Anything in the world, and make that happen. I got one gal that works for me now, and last summer she started an ice cream business, and she's starting to flip real estate, all just because I've been encouraging her to pursue her dreams, right? Encouraging her that she can do it. And we have probably an hour a week where we just talk about her businesses and what she can do to make more money or what she can do to fix this problem. And it's valuable for her, right? To be working, I think she makes like $19 an hour, right? So it's valuable for her to be working for us and getting that 1 hour with me. And but she will be leaving shortly because her ice cream business is just like to the freaking moon. So, and it's summertime in Ludington, Michigan. So, how much do you know about who sucks versus who is good? Okay, I told you about my sales guy. I want to tell you about another guy. So one of my studs. Okay, his name is Steven. I've dropped his name a little bit here. Steven started working for me, and like I said, I hired him for an admin position. Okay. He was not my first pick, okay? And I'm not going to go there, Megan. I got you. So he was not my first pick, but I went with him, okay? He was the total opposite of me, okay? I am a true red-blooded American, and this guy shows up with long hair, painted orange fingernails, and just not the type of dude I would be hiring, okay? But he fit the bill, right? So let's do it. And 3 weeks in, I'm literally writing his termination letter on my MacBook. Okay, so I'm sitting at my desk and I hear my door open. And he goes, "Colin, can we talk?" I'm like, "Yep." Close my MacBook, right? And I'm like, "Oh, I'm not gonna have to fire him. He's gonna quit, right?" And he closes the door, and as soon as he closes the door, he turns around and just waterworks, right? He goes, "Colin, I'm an alcoholic, and I just called community mental health and submitted myself to detox. I don't fit in here, and I want to. I know that I'm not performing, and I want to be a part of this team. Will you hold my position while I detox?" I said, "Absolutely, dude." I start crying with him. I pray with him. I do all the things, right? Encourage him. What can I do to help, right? Figured out where he was going for detox so we could be in touch every couple days, right? All of that. This guy has just to the moon. Okay, he came out of detox. It was a little rough start, like anybody, go after coming off of that addiction, right? And from there, it's just been insane. Okay, so he goes to the Rockstar Admin Conference, and everybody loves him and adores him there. And I'm like, they better not steal him. And and then he got duds. Okay, so that's a stud, and he is just going to the moon. He's going to be my right-hand man. Okay, he's not going to work in my service company forever. He's going to be my dude that works in a private office with me or at home and helps me implement in all my investments, my businesses, and all that good stuff. Okay. Then you have duds. Okay. I had a family member who literally stole from me. I had some old gutter cover that he tried selling under the table to a customer to fund his own bad habits. Caught him, kept him on. It was stupid. I made a bad choice. Really, really hard worker, but horrible. Just loved to talk, right? And just could not shut his mouth. And that's a dud, okay? Complains a lot. Disease of me. Oh, poor me. My wife this, my wife that. My kids do this, and blah, blah, blah. There's always someone else's problem, no accountability for himself, okay? Why do we focus on the bad, okay? It's too easy, okay? We've been bred and taught that we need to put others down to make ourselves feel better, okay? That's the news, okay? That's everything. They want to report on the garbage so that we feel better about ourselves, okay? We're poor leaders, okay? If we focus on the bad, it's because we're poor leaders. You need to change your perspective and find the thing that they're good at and encourage them in that. We're focused on the bottom line, okay? We're money, we're greedy, okay? Don't worry about that. I promise. You take care of your people, they're going to take care of you, and your business is going to flourish. All right? Seeing team members untapped potential wasted. This is the hardest one for me, okay? When I see someone who is so valuable and capable of so much more than they're doing in their life and just refusing to step into that. That's it, all it takes is that little step and that first step, and they can do it. And then I put up there the customer's always right, okay? Because how many times have you had a customer call and complain about one of your guys and you just instantly jump down their throat? I had it happen yesterday. So, yeah, customer's not always right. We're not Walmart, but you can handle that. You guys all know how to do customer service. So, how to focus on the good and win. Daily decisions. Make goals to encourage your team, okay? You need to have monthly targets, right? You need to have profitability targets, revenue targets, all of that. Create systems to follow that equal your end result, okay? You need to have these systems in place. If you don't have them and your team doesn't have a manual on how to succeed, they're not going to succeed, okay? Because it's constantly changing. They need to have a target that they can shoot. Team meetings regularly and celebrate the wins, okay? Your team meeting should not be a time to talk about what needs to be fixed in the company. I mean, you can touch on those things, but it should be overpowered by the wins of the company. Celebrate personal wins, okay? One of your guys gets a new car, or girls, go out there and do a live video with them, showing off their new car, whatever. They get a new house, go check it out. Bring them a housewarming gift, whatever. Celebrate those wins and watch that change, okay? You learn about that in the Dream Manager too. Lead with vision, okay? You gotta have a ton of vision. That's been this whole thing, right? Vision for them, a vision for yourself, vision for their family, okay? And then promote within, okay? You don't just do that if the person's not qualified, but if you can train someone up and promote them within, it creates a really, really cool culture. Walmart does this really well, okay? I'm not a huge Walmart fan, but they do promote within really well. I know a handful of guys who started pushing carts who are now regional reps or regional managers. Give your all to the studs and give what's left to the rest, okay? No one loves firing people, so don't fire them, right? No, don't go home and just fire all your junk guys because you still need them. But invest in the studs' personal lives regularly, okay? Check in with them. Check in on their addictions. Check in on their family, all that, right? Take them to the bank, right? If they want to buy a house, hey, let's go to the bank. Let's talk to the mortgage guy. I got a good connection with them. Let's see what you got to do to buy the house, right? Take them to the bank. Start that process. Sometimes they just need you to walk those steps with them. Okay, it's intimidating for people. Plan out their future with them, professionally and personally. Sit down, have an hour meeting each month with every employee, and talk about their goals. What are they doing to get there? How can you help them get there? And then ask the questions about their personal life, right? Don't hesitate on it, okay? I got 2 guys right now that are recovering alcoholics. I ask them every single week, hey, how are you doing, right? Close the door in my office. Hey, what's going on, man? How are you doing? How is this? What's tempting you? Okay, let's talk about that and how that doesn't need to tempt you anymore, okay? Do those things. Find their crutches and help them overcome it, help them heal. You get to achieve greatness through their greatness, okay? So as business, we didn't start business to be an employee, okay? We don't want to create a job. We want greatness, right? We all want to make a bunch of money. So how that works best, right, is them making a bunch of money, okay? So plan a succession plan for each position in your company. If you're doing everything right now, if you're doing the sales, the project managing, the ordering, all that, plan a succession plan, right? That means for someone to be better than you at it, okay? Not for you to be the top dog at everything. If you have that mindset, you're going to be stifled, okay? You're not going to be able to continue to grow and scale. Find joy in their joy, okay? This is crucial. If you need to be the happy one and think that's going to make the company happy, stop it. You need to make sure each of your people are happy and that they are finding joy in what they're doing and joy in outside of the workplace, all right? Sometimes this means leaving your company for a greater opportunity, okay? I've had 6 people in the last 2 years go on and start their own companies, with 4 of them with my blessing, 2 not. So sometimes even to be a competitor, I just told you about Randy, okay? This is your chance to win big with everyone, all right? So when you celebrate someone leaving, so when Randy left, we had cakes and cupcakes and all this stuff brought in and huge banners and whiteboard drawings and all this stuff done so that he knew, right? And it was like a wake-up call for everybody. Like, he's literally a competitor, and he's been selling for us for the last 2 years. He could just steal our clients. Yeah, but he's not gonna, because we're doing it this way, right? We are celebrating him chasing his dream, okay? And I had multiple of my employees come up and be like, I've never seen a company celebrate someone leaving like that, especially when they're gonna be a competitor. That's really admirable. So sold them a lot more that I don't just preach something, I actually follow what I'm saying, right? Practice what I'm preaching. This book was pivotal in my leadership growing, 5 levels of leadership. It's like a 7-hour audible listen, and it is worth every second. I've listened to it like 8 times. I've read it a couple times. It is a beautiful book, and it will change your life completely. So, when was the last time you cried with an employee, for an employee? Okay, this is my last story, Brendan. I'm done. All right. So I flew in Tuesday, and I landed here at 11 a.m. I got off the plane, where I landed, turned the airplane mode off, and my phone blows up. Right. One of my employees he lives with our pastor. His girlfriend and son live separately. Right. His girlfriend texts me, "Hey, have you heard from Thomas? I think he's relapsing. I haven't been able to get a hold of him. Did he show up to work?" So I call the office. "Hey, did Thomas show up?" "Yeah, he was here for the company meeting and then he left." Crap. All right. His phone's going straight to voicemail, all the good stuff. I spent 7 hours that day hunting this guy down, literally crying in my hotel room because I've invested a lot into this guy, right? Crying in my hotel room, praying, crying out to God, help us, right? I'm reaching out to all my prayer warrior friends. We got him, right? We got him that day. And before he got too bad, okay? He didn't have to detox, okay? And he started the relapse, and then the prayer worked, guys, right? Like, that's it. I'm not going to shy away from that. The prayer worked. He realized he needed to quit drinking. He was too drunk to drive. Usually he just hides, right, in shame. And he didn't. He told us where he was. I had 2 people going to get him, and that was it, right? We got him back, got him home. He was back at work the next day, doing follow-ups, closed $4,000 in commissions that next day, okay? Having those relationships and caring that much, this dude is literally, he's called me crying every day since, right? Just apologizing. And it's, dude, you don't, like, yeah, that sucked. I don't want you to do that again, but you don't need to apologize. I will always have your back because you are destined for so much more than that, right? And just speaking that over him and encouraging that he can be more. So find where you need to be helping your employees and really, really pursue that because it'll change your world, all right? It'll change their world. It'll change the entire world. Lots of winners beyond you and just the employees. Their kids get to win, okay? So Thomas, his 4-year-old boy, he's not going to have to fight addiction if Thomas breaks it, okay? Thomas can break that chain right now. His girlfriend, all of that, nobody's going to have to deal with it. The rest of the staff sees it. They know we've got their back. If something goes crazy, we've got their back. The clients, they get to win, right? They get to know that we're not just spitting some spiel to them, that we actually live this, okay? The community, okay? All these people live in our community. They get to grow and be better, okay? And the really cool part is with all of this happening, I have not paid to hire a single person in the last year and a half, okay? They are knocking down my door. I have, on an average week, 4 people coming in, and we're small market, okay? 4 people coming in every single week begging for work, right? Like, I want to work here. I want to work here. They've got jobs elsewhere, but they want to work at Superior Exteriors, okay? They hear what's going on. I've got guys come in, quit making mid-20s an hour to be a technician to get in our door because they know that we can help them grow in their personal lives, okay? It'll change your entire lineage, and it'll change your entire lineage, okay? Your giving of this, your children will be givers, right? Their children will be givers, and it'll change your entire lineage, all right? This is my QR code to subscribe to my email list, and that's where I'm going to send all of, I'll send you guys this too, but that sales video training program that I'm putting out there. So subscribe to this, and I'm not going to bombard you all with emails, I promise. It'll be like once a week, a little motivational thing on company culture and life, whatever. So get at me there, and you can contact me anytime at that same email that I'll be emailing from. So I think that's it. Yep, that's it. I went way over my time, so I plan to open questions, so talk to me after. Yep. Okay, well, anybody have questions? Yeah, let's hear it.
You talk about creating systems for your employees. So
Yes.
Can you give like 2 examples of what you meant by that?
Yeah. So actually, I hated creating systems. I actually messaged Tommy like 2 years ago, dude, you and I are wired pretty similarly. How the heck do you build these systems out? Like, type this out. He's like, you just got to do it. And I was like, I wanted more than that, but that's what I had to do, right? I just had to do it, right? So I literally got a LED sign on my door, right? And I close it, and it can say closed or open. If it's closed and somebody knocks on my door, I'm like, all right, 1 knock, all right, 2 knocks, I can literally write like F off on it, right? Just Bluetooth. And I don't do that often, but sometimes I'll put like emergency only or something. But yeah, so I do that, and I put my earbuds in and my focus at will, I just and go. So systems that are crucial, technician systems, okay? Having SOPs for your truck, right? So they know when they pull up, this is where they park the truck, okay? This is how they connect to power. This is where they put the generator, whatever, right? Everything, Tech 1 grabs the ladder, Tech 2 goes to the homeowner, and they know what they're doing on the job, and it creates efficiencies, okay? Sales systems, right? Same situation. They call the customer before they go. Hey, Mrs. Smith, I'm going to stop at the gas station real quick. Sorry, Tommy, I'm stealing this from you. I'm gonna grab you a Monster unless you tell me something else, right? It used to be, can I get you anything at the gas station? And it was like 1 out of 10 would actually say, yeah, no, I'd love some beef jerky just to test you, because beef jerky is like $7 million. But yeah, so you do that. They get the text they're on the way with their background check and all that good stuff, where they park the car, having just it mapped out. So everything. My new favorite one is sales follow-ups. I just had this happen yesterday. One of my sales reps calls me all pissed off. This guy stole my lead. I just did that estimate 2 weeks ago, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, what's the lead? And I look up the name, like, well, you don't have any notes in here of any follow-ups. You did it. It was not even 2 weeks ago. It was 9 business days ago, and you have no notes of follow-ups. Well, I called him. Well, the deal is you need to call him the day after, 3 days after, 3 days, 5 days after, and then every 7 days after, right? And if you're not putting those notes in, it's free game, dude. So tough luck. You know that. And he's like, damn it. All right. So just having those systems, right, and having it written down, having if a sales guy misquotes it, right, how that system works, right. First one, they get a pass. Second one, hey, you're paying the cost. Third one, hey, guess what? You're paying the total revenue off of that commission, right, that you missed. So, and then that all wipes out every 90 days or whatever your system is, okay? Did that answer your question? Cool. Any other questions? Yes, sir. Sir.
In my career, I always struggle with one thing that you touched on earlier, and I wondered because your sales experience is more relevant here to bring clients. If you could share how you prioritize, like keeping those development opportunities available, even when staffing is short, time is short, material is short, things like that, and it's easy to distract about an opportunity if there's a customer that needs an employee. How do you keep that sort of stuff in mind for your employees, even with labor and things like that? Because I don't want to not give them those opportunities, but it can be tough not to ditch those.
Yeah, you're saying like don't allow your employees to go to a better opportunity because you need them? Am I hearing that right? No?
You talked about giving them development growth opportunities.
Yep. Oh, I see. Okay, like promotions. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, there's definitely a fine line. In the beginning, it's really difficult, right? Because you don't have those people knocking down your door to get in. Right? I've got 3 technicians right now that want to be salespeople that are on rain days in there doing sales training, okay, on their own dime, right? I don't pay them hourly to learn sales training. They literally volunteer because they want to learn sales, right? I let them make follow-up calls, all that good stuff, okay? So I've got them there, and it's really just kind of a simple conversation at that point, like, hey, look, I would love to see you go into sales, but we've got our 3 salespeople right now, and we don't need another one. If one of them, falls off, guess what? You're going to be the next in line, or that position's open, QB1's available. Who's going to take it, right? I use QB1 reference a lot in my company. No lead tech is ever like safe as a lead tech, right? If they're a helper or assistant tech or whatever you guys call it, starts kicking their butt, guess what, man? He gets to be the lead guy, right? No job is safe, and it's not out of a fear; it's out of a constant growth. Okay, I'm not gonna keep a bottom feeder. Long story short, so yeah, sure.
So I have the 4 guys, a day coming in my office wanting a job, right?
Yep.
So we do Indeed.
Okay.
On Craigslist and throw it on our Facebook page.
Yep.
Realistically, how else do you have any advice on, online or wherever?
Yeah.
Sourcing these. I can convince a guy to work for me once he sits his ass in the chair.
Yep.
How do I get his button?
Yeah, you got to convince them with your ad copy. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I always have ads out there. Okay. I just don't pay for them. Right. So your ad copy is so crucial. You can't talk about like, I see this all the time. I actually just posted it in one of my coaching groups, all of them actually. This is not how you get employees. Must have this, must have this, must be able to do this, must do this, must do this, right? You're not going to get people, okay? You talk solely about what they get working for you, okay? So 7 paid holidays, 1 week's vacation, 4 sick days, company vehicle, company phone, whatever, right? Talk about all the cool things they get. 401k match, right? If you can offer health insurance, I'm not there yet, but offer those things. But then, like at the very top of those, okay, you need to do the unique things, okay? So one thing that we do that's I think is really cool is I'll pay you 1 day per month to go on your kid's field trip, okay? That's just something that people are like, holy shit. Like, nobody does that, right? And it's like one thing that just changes their brain, right? So they want to come work for you then. Yeah.
So, how many people live in anybody?
Yeah, just like my business wasn't big 4 years ago. I get it, Tommy. So.
What I wanted to say was talk a little bit about a lot of people probably in this room think that their marketing sucks. And they
Yeah.
think that marketing.
Yep.
And I will say LinkedIn is the real spot in the summer, but
Yeah, it sucks.
Sometimes I talk about 2023 lapses, so talk a little bit about
Right.
marketing and
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Actually, where's Chris at today? I talked to Chris from Pennsylvania, right there. Yeah. So I talked to him about market the other night, the first night we were here. It's such, and I talked to Scott too, yesterday, saying things like, "Oh, not in my market, man, not in my market." It's horse. You know what? Okay, it's garbage. Okay, get that out of your vocabulary. Okay, the only thing that you can remotely say about your market is the population of it. Okay, that's the only real statistic that you can have about your market. My county has 28,000 people with an average income of $33,000. Okay, the city I live in is 8,000 people. Okay, all the other surrounding cities are like 2,000 max, if not 500. Okay, the 3 surrounding counties are all smaller with a smaller average household income. Okay, so and I just increased my pricing to $12 and $15 per foot. Okay, and it's not because I'm the only gutter company. There are I don't know, 20 of them, and half of them are half my price. The other half are under 75% of my price. Okay, that does not matter. Your market. I'm so glad you brought this up, Tommy, because nothing bothers me more than people saying, "Oh, my market doesn't allow that. My market doesn't allow that." No, you're not allowing that. Okay, your market. Tommy brought it up too. All right, we've had a bunch of relapses. Okay, my county is huge. Yeah, like meth is huge right now. Okay, alcohol has always been huge. Okay, we've got more bars than we do anything else. It's what happens in my town. Okay, the average person tries to work 8 a.m. till noon so that they can fish in the morning and then fish in the afternoon. Okay, so they go and fish from 5 to 7:50, go to work for 4 hours, and they fish until 9 o'clock at night, finishing off 2 cases. Right, that is our market. That's what we deal with. I've had countless employees beat that life, okay? It's just generational curses, okay? We've all heard the stories of, well, I'll tell you guys one right now. The fleas, okay? You put fleas in a jar. I don't know if y'all know this, but a flea can jump like 10 feet, okay? A little freaking flea can jump 10 feet. You put it in a jar for like a week, right? And it eventually stops hitting the top of the jar, okay? And then you release them, and they'll never jump more than that jar height, okay? But what's really crazy is their offspring will never jump more than that height either, okay? And their offspring, all right? So these are all generational curses that you guys get the opportunity to break with your culture, okay? So if you're helping someone overcome addiction, if you're helping someone overcome poverty, homelessness, whatever it may be, like you're breaking those generational curses with those people. And yeah, just to touch a little bit more on the market. Yeah, sorry, Brian. Touch a little bit more on the market. Yeah, really, really small market. We did 2.1 mil last year. We're on pace for 3.3. We are definitely the largest in the area, but there's, our cap realistically right now would be probably like 5 million. So really, really small market for just a roofing and seamless gutter company. So.
Why do I have to better than the rest of
I'll tell you why. Garage doors is the smile in your house, right? That's true. Gutter is the jewelry.
Oh, all right. I like it. I like it. Yeah, I just got out of garage doors because I knew Tommy was going to close me up. So. All right, Bren, do we got time for any more questions or wrap it up? Okay, all right. Thank you all.